Okay, so on the NGSLA, you're definitely going to be seeing some problems talking about volume and area. But one thing that we really didn't go over yet in the school year is understanding surface area and what a net is. There will be a problem talking about that. So I want you to really focus in and try to understand what I'm trying to say when I talk about this. So a net is a flat pattern you can fold up to make a 3D shape. Think of it like cutting open a cardboard box and laying it flat. The net shows all faces of the shape spread out. So for example, rectangular prism, right? You have your front, clearly you have your back. You have your side, clearly you have your side. You have your top, and clearly you have your bottom, right? The net is the flat. So what happens is the the front, let me do it over here. The front, well, let's just say it's the, all right, anyway. So you have this part, and then of course you have your sides. That's why I think this is gonna be the front. You have your sides of a cardboard box. The good thing to know about the sides determine like the height, right? Like this will be the height. That part, the area is the height. But this is like the length and the width of it. So I would say this is the like bottom. Yeah. And then you have your front, right? Let's say this is the bottom. Yeah, it makes sense. That's the bottom. Well, this is probably the back. Right here would be the front. And then this is the top because it needs to fold over. So this folds up, this folds up, this folds up, this folds up, which is why like here is the height. Here is the height, right? This part of the height, this part is 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 the height. Do you see how like that? Because when it all folds up, all of these parts go up. But this covers the top, which means that the top and the bottom would be the same. And so when they're talking about the three pairs, you have your pair one of the net, which is your bottom, and your top, which really only focuses on the length and the width. Then you have your pair number two, which would be your left side and your right side, which is pretty much saying the length and the height. Because this is the length, this is the width, it's the length and the height. Length times the height. Then you got pair three, which is your front and back. And the front and back is the width and the height. Yeah, I think I explained that really well. At least I hope I did, because I think I did a really good job in explaining that. So like this is the net, this is the rectangular prism. When you cut a rectangular prism, you can fold it up, and you see how you fold this up? Okay, so why is that important? Okay, so like if you've ever wrapped a gift, right? If you wrap a gift, and when you wrap a gift, you don't just wrap one side of the gift, you wrap all of it. And what you're wrapping is the area of it. But since you're only wrapping like 2 dimensions of each part, it's um squared, right? Because you're not filling it, you're just wrapping the whole outside of the shape. And so surface area tells you, okay, so how much is needed to wrap the whole side of the shape? Or how much paint is needed to wrap to like color inside of an apartment or the outside of a building, right? So surface area is a total area covering the outside of a 3D object. It is like the amount of wrapping paper you need to cover an entire object, basically what I'm saying. So to calculate it using a net, you have to find the area of each face. The rectangle, square, the triangle, it depends on what it is, right? And everything is different all the time. So like maybe you have like a triangular prism. As you know, it goes up like this, and you need to do this. Think or something like that. Like these two connect, or like that, like it. But when it all closes up, right? So you find the area, length times width, and then you add that. So it's 2 groups of the length times width, because now we're talking about the top and the bottom, plus the 2 groups of the length times the height, plus the 2 groups of the width times the height. And that's your formula. Well, let's practice. What I love to do when doing a surface area or a rectangular prism is you want to draw it out, and you want to start with the bottom, because the bottom is the base. The base is always good. It helps you. Look, the length is 8. The width is 4. Simple, right? But I know we're talking about surface area. So you know you're going to have the back, right? You're going to have the side. You're going to have the front. And you're going to have the top. Now, as you know, the length and the width of the front is the same. And also, like, you see if this is 4, this is 4, this is 4, this is 4, and this is 4. You see how this is 8, this is 8, and this is 8, this is 8, this is 8. Now, this, on the other hand, is the height. You see how this is the height? Because when it's folded up, that's what it's going to look like. Height. Everything I'm highlighting is the height. It says the height is 3. So this is 3, this is 3, this, this, and that's 3, that's 3, that's 3, that's 3, that's 3, that's 3. This is the same as the length and the width, because it is the top. And the top will always have the same as the bottom, right? Cool. So I was able to break that down. I would always just do that. So right here, let's prove it. So, all right, so we know this is the bottom, you know, this is the top, this is the back, this is the front, this is the side. So look, top and bottom, 8x4, done. Front and back. Um, you know that this is This is tough. Because I'm trying to make sure I did this right. Hmm. It really doesn't matter though. Because this is 4. Let me see, let me see, let me see. Right. Oh. All right, so I think the only thing that's different is understanding that the length is here and the width is here. Oh, that makes sense. Length, well, length, but it don't make sense. And width. No, I did this right. Length and width. Mm. I know it's gonna all work out in the end, but I'll just say that this is, let's go to the bottom. 8 by 4. Let's say that this is 4. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. I think you all get the gist. But I really feel like if I did all of mine together, it still would work. So like 8 by 4, 4 by 3, which is, and then 8 by 3. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just like either way, either side. I thought I was tripping for a second. I was like, wait, no. This is how I named it, but as you can see, I'm doing the same thing. And like these will all come to the same way. So basically, you have your top 8 by 4, right? But it's each. You have your top and your bottom. And that's why it's not 32, it's 64, because the area of the bottom is 32 and the area of the top is 64. So everything is just multiplied times 2. And then you add them all up, and this is what you get. If you draw 6 faces of the net, you'll have 8 by 4 rectangles, 8 by 3 rectangles, and 4 by 3 rectangles. Let's see. 8 by 4, 4 by 3, 8 by 3. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I knew I wasn't tripping. I knew I wasn't tripping. Um, but yeah. So now we understand what a net is. We understand that the top and the bottom are going to have the same things. The front and the back will have the same dimensions, and the left and the right will have the same dimensions. Stay tuned for some practice.